Good evening, everybody. I'm back with Marvin. As you can see, we're sitting at my kitchen table. He's having himself a Diet Coke. And we are back to reading a story of the Cherokee Trail of Tears, Soft Rain. We are on the chapter To the Stockade. I wonder what a stockade is. Do you know? Well, a stockade is like a pen or a fenced-in area that holds something. Typically holds like a group of animals. Wonder how that has to do with soft rain. We're going to find out. Here we go. Outside beyond the garden patch, there were more soldiers, pointing guns at our Tasalgi. Soft Rain recognized old roving man, who lived deep in the woods. He often came to visit grandmother and exchange stories from long ago. Why were the soldiers taking him? Big Boots had said, "Not the old one." Wasn't old roving man nearly as old as grandmother? Three strange white men in battered hats stood by the fence. Soft Rain watched them until the one holding the skinny horse began shouting and laughing. "Now we can live on our land. Good riddance." Soft Rain turned away from the sound of the ugly voice. Deep in her mind, a different voice told her, "This is Tasalgi land. It was given to us by the Great Spirit. This land has always been ours, and our corn is planted on it." "Move along, girl," Big Boots barked, shoving Soft Rain between the horses. "Walk in front of the soldiers towards the river." Old roving man looked at her puzzled. His eyes were asking, "Where are we going?" Soft Rain wanted to ask her mother that same question, but no words came when she tried to talk. Mother seized Soft Rain's hand and led the way. Old roving man and the other Tasalgi followed closely. No one spoke. Soft Rain squeezed Mother's hand until her fingers hurt. When they came to where the river narrowed, she looked for green fern. It was their old meeting spot. Deep inside, she wanted her cousin to be there, but she was glad she wasn't. Others were, though. One family with 2 small children had a wagon. There were more soldiers, too. A tall soldier stood next to a Tasalgi family with a crying baby. They were all drinking from the river. "Best get yourselves a drink. Never can tell when you'll get another," the tall soldier advised Soft Rain. Mother didn't need to ask her daughter to translate. She immediately put down her blanket pack and found a cup. As they drank from the cool water, Soft Rain looked across the river. She felt she could almost see green fern approaching. "What did the white man say?" Old roving man asked her. "He said we should drink some water," she answered. Mother offered grandmother's cup to old roving man, but he shook his head. "If the white man wants me to drink, I refuse," he said angrily. "He thinks like Little John's father and Uncle Swimming Bear," Soft Rain thought. "I want you to drink," Mother pleaded. Only then did old roving man take the cup, dip it into the river, and drink it empty before handing it back to Mother. "It was good and—" "Time to move along," the tall soldier interrupted. "Well, where are you taking us?" Mother asked the soldier. It was the first time Soft Rain had heard anyone speak to the soldiers, and her mother knew so few words of the white man. She was proud of Mother's bravery. "To the stockade, then west," the soldier answered quickly. Stockade was a word Soft Rain didn't know. But west? Her father had said they would not move west. If they planted their slough, they would not have to move. Didn't the soldiers know that? Where was Father? He should tell the soldiers. Soft Rain began to cry. Big Boots pushed her. "Hurry along. No dawdling," he yelled before mounting his horse. Others were also crying. The baby hadn't stopped. Trying to comfort him, his mother sang until she had no breath left. She gasped and sobbed. Horses snorted. Mother took Soft Rain's hand and heaved her bundle over her shoulder. They followed the creaking wagon. The baby cried on. In front of them, more people and more wagons joined the group. The dust thickened. Soft Rain sneezed. Then she saw old roving man stumble and fall. His turban fell off his head. A soldier kicked him. "Hurry along," the soldier commanded. Mother dropped her bundle and helped the old roving man up. Soft Rain picked up his turban. "Where are they taking us?" he stammered. "West, to the west," Mother answered. Closing his eyes and bowing his head, old roving man mumbled, "Not this old Tasalgi." Where will he go if he does not go west? Soft Rain wondered. Is he afraid? It seemed to her that all people must be afraid of the west. Old Roving Man, Green Fern, especially Green Fern. And her mother? She hadn't spoken to Soft Rain since they drunk the river water. Whenever Soft Rain tried to talk, Mother just cried. They walked on down the mountain road to the town, past the store and the teacher's house. The teacher's door was open. Soft Rain could see an overturned chair inside. Some white people who lived in town stood staring and pointing as they passed by. No one laughed, though, the way the man with the skinny horse had. The smell of cooking meat filled the air. Soft Rain was hungry and tired. She remembered the bacon her mother was carrying. Would the soldiers let them stop and eat? The town was far behind before she heard the command, "Stop here!" The baby had finally fallen asleep. Old Roving Man and Mother sat on the ground, their backs to a tree. Snuggling into her mother's outstretched arms and feeling the warmth of her body, Soft Rain could almost forget her aching stomach. No one spoke until the family with the 2 children climbed out of their wagon. They offered their bread. Mother broke off pieces for Soft Rain and Old Roving Man, who fell asleep chewing. The bread eased the ache in Soft Rain's stomach. Though her legs were still not rested, they were soon walking again. The dust from the wagons, horses, and people grew thick and bothersome. Mother sneezed, shifting her pack to the other shoulder. Soft Rain's head hurt. Her eyes stung. She was thirsty. The tall soldier had been right. They had not had any water since they'd been told to drink at the river. When they finally stopped at nightfall, the Tasagi gathered in small groups, whispering to each other. "There will be food for all if we're careful," the baby's father said. "Do not take anything from the soldiers. Water is nearby. Our men will bring it." Mother unpacked food from her load, setting out bread and nuts in a pan on a blanket. She divided the bread into pieces the size she had given Hawk Boy when he was a baby. Soft Rain thought. Where were Hawk Boy and Father? Where were they thinking about her? The family in the wagon put their bread on the blanket, and someone added dried apple slices. After the men brought buckets filled with water, everyone sat around the blanket eating slowly, except Old Roving Man. When Soft Rain handed him a piece of bread, he shook his head. "I don't need to eat," he said. "We all need to eat," Mother told him. Soft Rain watched the food disappear quickly. She was still hungry, but not hungry enough to eat any of the food the white soldiers cooked, even if they'd offered it. Their meat smelled as old as the half-eaten porcupine she had once found in the woods. Pet's rope and Soft Rain's pouch fell to the ground when Mother spread out a blanket for their bed. Soft Rain didn't ask how her things had gotten into Mother's pack. She quickly picked them up, holding them tightly until she fell asleep. Before the sun rose, Soft Rain awoke, still holding the rope. She fastened it around her waist, helping her mother tie the pack, then put her pouch across her shoulders. They walked again, on and on. More of their people joined the long line. The fortunate ones had wagons pulled by oxen or horses. Soft Rain didn't see Old Roving Man. Maybe someone had helped him into a wagon. The baby cried. So did the little children in the wagon near her. Soft Rain was too tired to cry. Late in the day, they came to a clearing in a large pen with high sides. As they neared the pen, soldiers opened the gate. Soft Rain could hear low, mournful cries from inside. Out of the wagons, everyone into the stockade, Big Boots shouted. Soft Rain mumbled. "This is a stockade? It's a pen of logs that holds people, my people." Over the din of the terrified crowd, no one heard Soft Rain scream when she was pushed into the pen. Clinging to Mother with one hand and grasping Pet's rope with the other, no one heard her say, "Pet, Hawk Boy, Father, where are you? Where are we?" So yes, they are all being sent to the stockade, just like a bunch of animals. How sad. All right, tomorrow we will read In the Pen. We'll find out what happens to them after they leave the stockade. Good evening, everybody. Bye.